Hi, it's Wyndham. Are you a rule follower or a rule ignorer? Well, they're not really rules, they're more guidelines, right? And they're not really guidelines. I've been reflecting on this over the last few days. I saw a post recently on LinkedIn talking about healthy disrespect. And that actually to achieve the things we want to achieve, I don't know how well defined those are for some of the people in that who are referenced and spoken about. But how we achieve the goals we really want to achieve in life is actually by having a healthy disrespect for the rules we're supposed to follow. And I remember, this is a saying I was aware of as a kid, that there are only two certainties in life, death and taxes. And that's clearly not true. There are no rules that apply to everyone. We know lots of people in the world don't pay tax. We know lots of corporations don't pay tax. So tax isn't even a certainty for everybody. So what are the rules that everybody has to adhere to? You'd be hard pressed to find a single rule that everybody has to adhere to and is held accountable to every time. Take 2 minutes. Think of any rule that everybody is held accountable to all of the time. I'd argue there are none. There's an American guy, even death. There's an American tech entrepreneur, Brian Johnson, I think his name is, who is spending millions and millions of pounds a year to slow the aging process and cheat death. Think what you will about that. But there are seemingly no rules that everybody has to adhere to. So what are the rules you're adhering to? What are the things that shape your decisions? What are the parameters that you're following? And how are they really serving you? I spent 20 years in a career where, my day to day was governed by what somebody else told me I had to do. The very fact I was in that career was governed by the rules around what my life could and should be, how I should be spending my time and energy, ultimately for the benefit of somebody else. Don't get me wrong, of course there was benefit to me. I earned money, I bought a house with my wife, I experienced nice things, all that kind of stuff. All good, yep, lovely. However, it made me miserable. So what are the rules you are following in your life? What are the rules that set the boundaries for the path you can follow? It's almost as if these rules we've been taught that we then self-police. It's like the walls in a maze that you release a mouse into. There's only a certain number of ways it can go down dead ends, but it can't jump from the start to the finish. Has to follow the path because the walls dictate that. What are the walls dictating your path in life? And who do they serve? Are you blissfully happy? Are you, ecstatic in your sense of fulfillment and personal reward? Have you got the life you really want? If you have, brilliant. The fact that those rules, those walls, that path have delivered that to you, or you have created your life within them, I have nothing but respect and joy for you. Congratulations. If that isn't the case, if you begrudge the path, the wall that appears in front of you that means you have to go this way, if you are unhappy on that path, if you have got to the end of the maze and what now? None of that path has deeply fulfilled me, or big sections of that path have not brought me happiness, contentment, meaning. What are you going to do now? Because if you continue to allow those old rules, those old expectations, determine how you show up in your life, then the rest of your life is going to feel very similar to the earlier part in your life, to how you feel now. If you want something different, it might be time to start breaking the rules. To start looking at these things that set how you show up in life and go, actually, you know what? I don't think that works for me. There's always a consequence. There's always an outcome to the decisions we make. And if the decision we make is to conform to the rules because other people don't like us doing certain things or saying certain things or acting in a certain way, then the intended consequence of us conforming is their comfort. But what is it for us? Well, it's discomfort. And actually, I'm not responsible for somebody else's comfort. They are. I'm responsible for me. So when I got to that point in my life, it was like, I'm so uncomfortable and I cannot continue like this. I'm going to have to start breaking some rules. I'm going to have to start breaking some conventions. I'm going to have to break away from the conformity of what I have always done, because what I have always done has created a sense of deep unhappiness. Not with everything, but with too many elements of my life for me to continue along this path. I have to start breaking some rules. I have to start acting in a way that I don't care what other people think. Their judgment of me is based on a judgment of themselves. Somewhere along the line. They might not be judging the same things, but every piece of external judgment of somebody else is based on an internal judgment of ourselves, somewhere along the line. So, are you a rule follower? And if you are, how's that working out for you? And if it's not working out well, what do you want instead? Starting to identify where we shut ourselves down, where we're conditioned into this stuff at such an early age. Our phase 1 blueprint is full of this stuff. And it is so powerful, we self-police as we get older. So where are those ideas that come up that you go, oh, no, wow, couldn't possibly do that. Where do you see other people acting in a way that makes you deeply uncomfortable? And I'm not talking about hate speech or misogyny or racism or isms of any kind. I'm not talking about that kind of behaviour. I'm simply talking about the people who show up in the world in a way that we go, oh my God, I can't believe they just did that and got away with it. Outrageous. Is it outrageous? Or have they just said to themselves, excuse my language, fuck that. I'm not being bound by somebody else's expectations of me. I am going to step my own path. I'm going to create my own adventure, and I am going to go where I want to go. I leave you with that. And if you are of the rule-following unhappy persuasion, it doesn't have to be that way, but it's going to take work. I'll leave you with that. I wish you a peaceful and joyful few days, and as many broken rules as you can muster. And I will speak to you soon.